All right, quarterback school Patreon community. We are doing it a little live before Thursday night football. Crank this thing up. We got my Harvey checking in from France. Ça va, ça va. Man, coming in hot. Man, already got some familiar faces. My guy, Coach Stanfield. What's good? What's good? Coming out the gate right away. Super chat. Talking about how to read defenses. We got all sorts of ball we're talking about tonight. How to read defenses from front, back instead of top down. Keep it going. JT, can you talk about how to read a defense from the front, back instead of top down? I mean, I could talk about it. I don't know if I would talk about it. I would say that I think that defenses are built from the back to the front. So when I think of how to attack defense, I think the same way. I guess you could read it from front to back, meaning the first layer, the defensive front, as far as like where you could get like safety rotation because of where the backers are, but I don't try not to. I like it though. I've always appreciated the support. Coach Stanfield, appreciate you guys checking in. Let me know that I sound all right, that this thing is a go. We talked some ball tonight. We got a good one. I'm excited. Not going to lie. I like both these quarterbacks. I'm interested to see what the Bears look like. I think the Commanders will be exciting, and we're ready to roll. Hopefully, it's a good game, and we can crank out some videos tomorrow about it. I already saw a couple things in here about where the Fields videos are. I've been really intentional about creating a lot of stuff over on the Patreon community. So this week it was Fields, Wilson. I'm loading Baker right now. Who else did I do? I can't think of it. Should probably know it. I'm obviously doing too many videos if I can't think of the full game that I just put on Patreon. Man, so if there are specific questions about stuff you expect to see from the Bears, the Commanders, let's see who else are we doing. As you come into this thing, do me a favor, hit that like button. See if this thing, there it is. We got 150-ish of our closest friends. Oh yeah, Pickett. That's why. Fucking forgettable, Xavier. Oh, Canada. There you go. Appreciate you. I'm also living on the edge here with this. I don't know if I've ever done a live as I've uploaded a video. So if there's any sort of like weird lagginess, let me know. But I think it should be fine. We got some powerful internet over here, so feeling pretty good. Traffic. Would you call Purdy the real deal? Yeah. I mean, anybody who hasn't lost a game, he played like 14, 15 games, hasn't lost a game he's finished, pretty good. Fish and chips. Right, JT, let's talk about Justin Fields' downfield vision. Did the coaches simplify the playbook last week? I mean, I guess depending on what you term simplify, I think that they made things that I bet Justin's strengths were and tried to get him to play a little bit quicker. We saw some examples of the feet quickening up a little bit. I would look for that early. Today would look for continuing to move the launch point. Again, the quarterback run game, even though they tried to get it going, it wasn't what it was last year early in the game. So looking to find success with that, because I mean, it's pretty hard to mess up that quarterback run game with Justin Fields, but I feel like they have. We'll see. Appreciate the questions. Mike, can you do videos on the XFL, please? Really? I mean, probably not. Interesting question, though, in the fall, in week 4 or week 5 of the NFL season. Jesus of the Apes, can you give me a quarterback grade? I can already say no. For all the NFC North quarterbacks at this point in the season. No, I'm not going to give you a grade. I would say that it's got to be just an order off the top of my head. Well, I'm not even going to do that. Madden channel. JT, do a legend film analysis on Joe Montana and John Elway, from the past. Man Channel. That is a great idea. I would love to do that. I've looked into doing that in off seasons, and it is proven difficult for me to find the all 22 from those years. So that's kind of the answer. If I can get the film, I would do it. No, I don't want to do the broadcast video though. Knock my little phone stand on the ground. All right. Caleb Dirks, my guy, coming in hot. Super chat. Appreciate the support. Hey, JT, thank you for the breakdowns. If you were Jordan Love's quarterback coach, would you coach him on improving his – how would you coach him on improving his deep ball accuracy and completion percentage? Well, I mean, I think of those as two different things, first of all. The completion percentage, as I'm assuming you're talking about it, tethered to accuracy. I think you can pump up completion percentages pretty artificially with, perimeter screens, those like bullshit jets tosses that you see quarterbacks do, shovel screens, normal screens, quick game, move the launch point, naked keeper, like flats, those types of things that are definitely good to pump up the completion percentage. The deep ball accuracy is a little bit harder because I think it takes practice, intentional practice with the guys that you're doing the deep balls with. So those wide receivers, the timing, the rhythm of what the drop and the placement looks like, the specific yard markers. Sometimes on go balls, you'll hear like this guy's a 42-yard guy, a 45-yard guy, a 46-yard guy, like somewhere, so you know where to drop those things down. And then for me, it was just a lot about going out there and getting the feel for what it feels like. And then the other thing that I would always felt was weird was anytime you go to a new stadium, I thought it was harder to throw a deep ball because like the background of it changes, the space of it changes. I thought it was actually harder in college because sometimes you'll have like a stands like right up on the sideline. So going out there and getting those throws in and playing games in other stadiums, I think helps with deep ball too, bizarrely. So all those things kind of go together, but there's no like secret sauce. Like, man, if he does this drill, he'll do that. I think you just want to get as comfortable as you can with the guys that you're playing with, and then just call them, let them rip, and give your guys an opportunity. I also really like not overthrowing people. I prefer underthrown deep balls for jump balls, for penalties. So maybe they don't, maybe they want it perfect in the bucket. I've been around guys like that would rather miss far than underneath. So different strokes when it comes to that. Paco Simbad. Ba-boom. Can you explain why all the 2024 big boards don't have a guy like Penix as a top 5 QB talent? Try to think, can I explain why he's not in the top 5 just for quarterbacks? I mean, I think that there are some pretty dynamic guys. I definitely don't think he's played himself out of the top 5. I just think that there are other guys that have maybe been a little bit more consistent over the course of their career and a little bit healthier. I really like Michael Penix Jr. I think he can really play. I think he does have like I've seen him throw in person. It's not as, it looks like really like choppy of a release, I think. And I know it's because part of it is because he's left-handed. I get that. But there is an element of just like not fluid of his stroke and his arm action that I think scares some people off. I think it has impacted his consistency in the past. What happened with him at Indiana, getting hurt, not playing as well, and then coming into his own now with a really talented group at Washington. We'll see. I think he could certainly play himself into the top 5 quarterbacks. There's just a lot of good quarterbacks. Like the top 2 essentially are solidified in most people's mind with Caleb and Drake May. And then from there, Quinn Ewers, J.J. McCarthy, the dude at Duke. There's other guys playing well. It seems like it's a pretty, thick, robust class. So we'll see. Good for the channel. Michael, appreciate it. I've been really intentional with trying to crank out more content this fall. It seems like it's working. We'll see how long it is sustainable for. But the way that I got it going right now, I do think it's sustainable for a little bit. So we'll see. There you go. Jesus of the Apes knows what I'm talking about. Easy Rob. All right, what else? Oh man, we got over 300 of our closest friends in here. You guys are cracking me up. Appreciate it. Cheers to everyone who is doing that thing tonight. Enjoy a little Thursday night. I'm going see a little can check here for you for the regulars. I'll get to you, Tyler, one sec. For the regulars, we got a little Buena Vesa. I should get like a Stone deal going. This is my summer drink of choice. It's hot down here, man. Hot, like high 70s. So it feels like summer. So I went back to the summer drink. Tyler. JT, do you feel that Caleb Williams is a system quarterback? Hell no. Has been going off about not throwing with and not reading the field. No, not at all. I love that system that he's in. I think that system helps, but he would make any system work. So no, I don't think he's a system quarterback at all. Frank, who's the best NFL quarterback ever? Not greatest, in your opinion. Who is the best? What's the difference between best and greatest? I'm going to have somebody, Frank, give me the definition issue. But I mean, the best quarterback ever is, I think everybody says Tom Brady, right? Does anybody not say that? Like maybe most talented would be someone like Fish and Chips. Yes. And I can always tell when people say that I got a Shanny resemblance because I know that they're new to the channel. Because if they aren't new, they would have, if they were here last April, if you know, you know. I would say for me, the guys that I think of when I think of most talented are guys like John Elway, maybe Dan Marino, like the way he threw it, Warren Moon, the way he threw it. But I mean, the best for my money is Tom Brady for sure. I also love Peyton Manning, you know, those guys for me playing. Boom. Bunny goes hop. That cracked me up, Bunny. Bunny goes hop. I don't think Desmond Ridder is ruining our franchise. I mean, he needs to play better. I don't think that system necessarily fits what a lot of guys, I would say, do well. I don't think that system, those guys are quite as fast and as good as maybe the league perceives that perimeter group to be. I know they're big, but besides for the, you know, the running backs, there's not a lot of space out there, in my opinion. You know, even Pitts doesn't look quite the same to me running. I think I said that in the video. I don't know. Reed B, JT, have you thought about streaming games? I've thought about it. I've played around with the technology around it. It wasn't quite good enough for me at the time that I wanted to do it. I probably could revisit it. I don't love. I also like that sounds really hard. I mean, it would be hard to carry a game by yourself like that. I mean, I guess it's possible, but like I can feel my like throat starting to hurt even when I do like a Patreon video, and that's just me talking for like an hour or so. Everybody who's asking, well, here's the thing. I certainly appreciate people asking for videos all the time, and it's, you know, certain very you know, loud fan bases that are great on this channel, like Fields, like the Bears, like the 49ers. I try to communicate pretty good on social media about where all the videos are. If you don't follow me on Twitter X, it's a little bit harder, but the Fields videos have been on Patreon. Zach Wilson, Patreon. Kenny Pickett, Patreon. Who'd I just do? Baker Mayfield, loading, Patreon. So if they're not on YouTube, that's where they are. Trayvon Potts. Appreciate you. What do you got? Can you do a video showing CJ and Bryce doing similar or same plays this season? I think it will show the difference in receiver separation. I mean, I could do that. I don't think I'm going to do that. A lot of my videos, most of my videos are, you know, one game specific, just because it's a hell of a lot easier for me to do it that way. Faster turnaround. If you start intermixing games like that, you're looking at like real production. For me, my process is so streamlined now. You know, I watch it, I clip it, I talk over it, we analyze it, I upload it, and I share it. And so to interweave like going back and forth, yeah, you could, and it's a good idea. and someone should do it. It just probably won't happen on this channel. Jacobal B. Damn, I butchered that name. Apologize, dog. I think players are criticized too much. I get, really? I get it's part of the game, but good players, especially QBs, let alone great players, don't grow on trees. I mean, it's a fair statement. I think some players would agree with you. I don't know if you can ever get criticized too much for the amount of money these guys make for playing a game. I think it's all fair game in my opinion, but if you feel that way, perhaps this is not the channel for you. It would be hard for me to do this if we didn't criticize them at all. Caleb Dirks coming back in for the early front runner for this chat MVP. Do you foresee a new trend where NFL teams draft quarterbacks who took a lot of reps in college over more raw prospects? Nope, I do not. I mean, Anthony Richardson looks pretty good. I think it's hard for any team to pass on a quarterback that they think potentially might be their franchise guy. I will say, and I feel like I've said this a few times already, I wouldn't be shocked if a trend in the league starts to become kind of like overdrafting. Not overdrafting is the right word. Drafting multiple quarterbacks becomes a thing so that you can hit on one in a rookie deal and you know, just kind of keep that quarterback position as a rookie deal as like a strategic financial decision to how to handle the cap to then build around it, you know, potentially and spend in other places. Because I feel like many teams would love to have a quarterback on a rookie deal, draft a defense, and buy an offense. It's kind of like how I think the easy piecemeal way to go about it looks like. And so that's one way to do it. Love your content. Jim, my guy, appreciate you. Love your content. Love your shirt. Appreciate you. Stay strong out there, y'all. What are the top 3 books behind you? Mahalo. Man, I don't know if I could go top 3 right off the top of my head. I have been, and I will say this, Jim, not to not answer your question. I will say this, and I've said this before on streams. I'm just coming out of a deep dive on Ulysses S. Grant, like half a decade. I feel like I read everything I could possibly get my hands on. At some point, I'm going to think about doing, probably in the off season, do like every week, go by and do like one little section of the bookshelf so that people can see exactly what it is. And then I can go through and pick like my favorites on each shelf. So that's the idea right now. Don't let me forget that one. Do you think Shedeur Sanders is an NFL starter when he leaves college football? Mike, I see several red flags, with him starting with body language and attitude. Really? I don't know. That might be a stretch, Mike, with the body language and attitude vibes. I think the thing that would make me the most nervous is just him holding on to the ball. You see him go to a situation potentially like what the Bears are doing offensively, what a guy holding on to the ball looks like in the league. Sometimes that is as much of a concern as anything else. I don't give a shit about, I don't know how you would know about his behavior or attitudes, but just the ball, like between the lines, holding on to the ball for me is probably the biggest concern with him that I've seen up until this point. Fish and chips, perfect play is impossible though, JT. All right. Fish and chips. I'm missing the joke, but I appreciate the super chat. Y'all, get out of here. We got, literally, don't get out of here, but we have over 400 of our closest friends in here. I appreciate you guys hanging out. We'll take this thing up for maybe 10-ish more minutes. I want to make sure that get out of here with enough time to watch this game. I got to set up my TVs. I go dual screen TV. Now this is going to sound, very, I get not everybody can have multiple screens and whatever. I got a lot of screens in here just for the studio vibes. And I actually use all of them, but, I go multiple screens. One of my buddies for a long time told me to get a screen and put it on wheels, like a TV and put it on wheels. And I fought it for a long time. Then we got a garage gym over COVID and finally got the TV on wheels. And that thing is awesome. So set it up and watch dual screen. And it's great tonight because they do that Prime Vision thing, which is really cool. Eventually, there's going to be all 22 real time for us to watch at some point. Eric, ba-boom. Hi, JT. What are good resources for learning football? Besides this channel? You like that? I forgot that I did that. I also forgot that I got the B in today. Ba-boom. This channel is a great spot, Eric, to learn football. There are many good spots to learn football. I got so many gadgets in here, I forgot. What was the second part of that question? I like understanding what you're watching in terms of different defensive setups and offensive sets. Eric, I think there are a lot of good follows. If you're not on social media following guys like Vass, following Deontay Lee, I enjoy the match quarter stuff for the defensive side of the ball. There's a lot of good quarterback guys on social media that are good follows. A lot of good media, like traditional legacy media people that are good follows. Rob, do you think guys like Trey Lance could benefit by playing in the USFL or XFL for a couple years to gain pro experience and return to the NFL? Yes. I think many quarterbacks could benefit from playing. I would love to see like a soccer type thing where you can like loan people out. I've always thought that that's weird that they don't do that. They kind of used to do the loan thing back in NFL Europe. We'll see. Yeah. DJ Super, like a TV on wheels. It's awesome. Hate on it till you got one and you roll that sucker out. I roll it to like on the porch. I roll it to parties now. I had it at the Oktoberfest last year. It's all jokes until you got one. D Kit, watching the Giants implode. D Kit, I don't really watch the Giants. I didn't watch the Giants. I know that were they on a national game recently? I didn't watch them. I've never really enjoyed watching that quarterback / system. I know they found a way to win a lot of games last year. I'm not going to BS and tell you that I have some hot take. I don't have hot takes. Y'all, if I don't put the video out, I just assume that I didn't watch the game. About the only I really want to get to the DTR film and the Aiden O'Connell film. I just haven't watched it yet. I wanted to do one selfishly for me. I don't know if it's going to happen. At some point would love to get to it. Most underrated QBs in the last 20 years. Simon. Fuck, I have no idea, dog. Holy moly. Griff Dog, appreciate the quick most underrated quarterbacks last 20 years. I mean, I don't even know where to start. Who would it be? It would be like, I'd probably say like Phillip Rivers maybe is the first guy that jumps to mind. We'll see. See if he, Griff Dog, appreciate you. Very kind words. All the kind words that I'm getting to, I try to at least make sure I can get to the super chat stuff. I'm not, I would say, like as comfortable streaming with this many people in here. I feel like I miss a lot of the good, meaty details on the super chat and can't go back and forth like I used to back in the day. But it's a good problem to have. Fish and chips. Should the NFL have an affiliated minor league? I think it would be beneficial to the quarterback position for sure. Oh man, I'm missing all sorts of super chats. Holy moly. Sorry, y'all. I'm going too slow. Chase. I think it's too early to call. Dave Tron coming in crazy hot. Good God. And Alpinist. Damn. You guys are bringing the thunder today. I appreciate it. Question about mechanics. Can you go over a bit of why you preach against heel clicking? Somebody asked me about this today. I probably should do a video of this. If a quarterback clicks his heels to move up in the pocket but completes the pass, would you still try to coach out the clickiness? No. There's times when you're going to bring your feet together for some sort of like violent, quick movement. But as a standard operating procedure, and to bring your feet together, you then have to bring them back apart. And to me, that's wasted movement. So if you can keep your base as you move, as you kind of move around the pocket, you're just ready to throw quicker, more consistently, and your cleats are in the ground. When you heel click, to me, you're going up on your toes, you're coming back, you're kind of landing on your toes, coming down. It just takes longer to then be able to throw it quickly. And you're not as consistent or as powerful, in my opinion. So it's not like you can never do it. And I feel like I try to hedge that by saying sometimes you're going to do it, sometimes you're not. So I hope that answered it. Alpinist, really appreciate the deep dive on Burrow from what you saw in film. Would you sit Burrow? Dog, I appreciate the super chat. I'm not that kind of doctor. I don't know. If my take on that as a pro or a former pro is if you're a pro and you can play, you should play. If it's the coach's determination to watch you in practice to say, is his 80% better than the backup's 100%? If you can play, you play. That's the way that I've always thought of it. Nico, checking in first time here. Appreciate you. Man, I'm going to miss so many of these chats. Damn, I'm sorry, y'all, if I miss you. Holy moly. Nick, thoughts on Caleb Williams? Yeah, I mean, he's awesome. Boom or bust. Boom. Second best quarterback, I think right now I would feel comfortable saying Drake May. Maybe that changes before the draft. We'll see. I'll definitely dive into it, hopefully, over the course of the offseason. Man. Chase, everybody's got 20/20 vision after the fact, dog. We'll see. You can go back and check the receipts for me with some of that stuff. Simon, new Patreon member. Appreciate you. Learned a lot. Keep it up, my friend. Thank you, sir. Y'all, let me just throw this out here right now. Patreon, we have had some new members recently. My goodness. Lots of fun over there. Lots of deep dives. Really trying to create the environment of what it's like in an NFL quarterback room. So it's a little bit looser. A little bit more like this. Man, my guy Dan coming in with jokes. 27 Lions talk. Holy shit. Okay. I think Drew Stanton was underrated and TJ Duckett was a beast. Any good stories from the 2017? I feel like I've told this story before on a live stream about Drew Stanton. TJ's a good dude, man. He was fun to be around. Both Michigan State guys. Someday, because it takes a while and I don't want to hijack the whole stream to tell a Drew Stanton story. I know I've told it on here somewhere. Someone might be able to tell you exactly where I said the story, but Drew used to get pissed at me for throwing stuff in his locker. So he got me back one day, and then I got him back better. Put it that way. Joseph M. The last 2 weeks of Fields have been on Patreon. We'll see what happens tonight. I'm sure I'll do whoever wins probably, and then be hard for me not to do Fields, I would say, just with how many people on Patreon are there because of the Bears. So we'll see what it looks like, but I would imagine one way or the other, it's either going to be Howell or Fields on Patreon tomorrow. Boom. Vaughn, hey JT, not a QB here, not a Patreon member, but just a high school lineman wannabe QB. The best kind. Anyway, I've always been enjoying learning more and more about football. QB talk, appreciate the content. Vaughn, thank you for the comment, my dude. I do appreciate comments, just saying thank you there, appreciate the content. I have fun making it. I wish something like this would have existed when I was kind of searching for information. That's one of the many reasons why I enjoy doing this. So, yeah. See, YDCFF. He knows. I think I've told that story before somewhere on here. So I don't recommend diving through every live stream to get it, but it's out there somewhere for the masses. Boom. Rob, let's have a Mahomes video again. I'm sure it's coming again. I can't do Mahomes every week. I mean, I would enjoy it, but I'm just gotta give it a pause sometimes. Spread it around. I honestly try to. It doesn't happen because there are some quarterbacks that I'm just not interested in watching at all, or some offenses that I want nothing to do with. But I try to get to most quarterbacks in a month. Now, it doesn't always happen the first month, but inevitably I'm curious enough about them that I hope to get to them in the first month or every month. YDCFF. JT, have you ever tried to be an NFL quarterback coach? No. Man, back-to-back Harvey asking the same question. Do you think win should be a QB stat? No. Jesus, silent DCM. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Caleb, for sure going for the MVP of this chat. Holy moly. With how McVay, McDaniel, Shanahan, and LaFleur use pre-snap motion to open up their offense and get looks before the snap happens. Will this happen, become a trend? It's been a trend, dog. It's been a trend. I think I talked about it recently. It might have been the last stream, to be honest with you. I think that you can go overboard with motion really quickly. I think it also matters to the quarterback's comfort level. So it's easier to get away with that shit sometimes with a younger quarterback who won't push back and say, hey, we're done. We're not going to motion for motion's sake, or hey, this makes things blurry for me or the pass protection unit. So there's a fine line. All right, man, we're having 500 almost of our closest friends. Holy moly. Matthew checking in from the UK. I appreciate the international support, especially when you come into the chat. Make sure you let me know if you're not state bound. And even if you are state bound, let me know where you're checking in from. Always interesting for me to see the reach of this thing and how crazy it can be. 10Z. Not really in the prediction game for the Cowboys Niners, or really for anyone. I don't really care, to be honest with you. I just want a good game. I'm fascinated to see what the 49ers look like against that Cowboy defense and that front and how they block 11. I'm also just interested to see what Brock Purdy looks like if they're ever down. Not that they will be down this game, but like, at some point you would think over the course of his football career, they will be behind. And what it looks like then, we'll see. See a lot of RIP Butkus in here. Sad news. But man, pretty awesome life and story. Zootown, Montana checking in. Man, Big Sky. The original Sin City, Gabe. Appreciate you guys checking in. Let me know how this thing goes. We'll do a couple more here, and then we'll be off to the game. Hopefully it's a good game. I think it's in DC, right? So we'll see. I'm always interested to see how Bieniemy looks calling plays. Sam Howell hanging back there, taking sacks. Hopefully Chicago can get some sort of pressure on the quarterback tonight. Dave Tron, one more mechanics asked. Seen a lot of quarterbacks throwing sidearm lately. Do you think this could lead to increased risk of arm injuries for quarterbacks like pitchers? No. I'm not like a biomechanics expert, but no. I've always been a guy, and I was a guy before it was cool to be a guy like this, that was all about whatever your natural arm slot is. So some guys used to, back in the day, you'd be coached to like over the top. I was always a 3/4 guy, like a natural 3/4 guy. I had coaches try to tell me to get over the top. Used to piss me off. Used to not be able to throw well. Natural arm slot was 3/4. So I think I was kind of fell into that before it was cool. Dano, I don't think you know how funny that is, but would you be open to doing an analysis of a D3 game quarterback? My alma mater is averaging 60 points a game. Maybe for like Patreon. I don't know if anybody would want to watch that analysis. I'd mark it maybe, dude. Fish and chips. Coming in with some pounds. Are those pounds? You guys are off the euro, right? I'm sure I have your shirt. I think it's stored. Should drag it out and wear it again in the UK. Oh, man. That jersey spot in the UK would be something. Every once in a while, I will get a photo of someone tagging me of seeing my jersey in the stands or something. That's pretty funny. Skylar Hamilton. NFL rigged ? Obviously, you have not seen my video about that. You should go check it out, Skylar. QB question. Combat sack. How do quarterbacks position their hands at the mesh? I don't even know what that means, dog. At the mesh? Like shotgun handoff? On the side of the ball? Portugal checking in. Portugalia. Appreciate you. All right, couple more. Do you think, Christian, do you think there's anything to the notion of moving a guy down the board based on the school offense he comes out of? Down the board. Potentially. I mean, I would say that this coming from a Division II guy, there's certainly benefits to playing at the highest level possible. I think if you're a lower level guy, you really have to like jump off the film. You got to like any NFL guy, but like you really got to pop at the lower levels to be a guy who can potentially play on Sundays. The pick is in. What are your thoughts on Anthony Richardson? Bro, I give my thoughts in the videos. I don't have more thoughts. I don't like keep my thoughts for the live stream. I thought he's looked great. I'm glad he was able to finish the game. You know, I think that offense is fun. He's dynamic as hell. We'll see. All right. That's a wrap, y'all. Damn near 500. Still hanging out. I appreciate y'all. Enjoy the game. I will see you on the other side tomorrow. Hopefully, video, Bears or Commanders or both if we're feeling frisky. Certainly always appreciate the support. Patreon community, courses, memberships on YouTube, all the good stuff. Everybody who gave a chat tonight, super chat, I certainly appreciate the support. We'll keep this thing rolling. Enjoy the game. I'm excited. I'll be watching it with you. I'll see you on the other side.